Welcome everyone to our first podcast. Today our topic will be psychology in trading, one of the most important aspects in trading. It's a really crucial aspect. We're with Hamza.
Hello everyone. Welcome to one of the podcast video on our YouTube channel. Gonna be a great talk with my brother Kadir. So take notes if you want. I'm sure it's going to be full of value. And let's get started.
Yes, man. We'll do this regularly, just discussing topics and everything. Me and Hamza together. So will be a good one. So, like I said, today the topic is psychology, a really, really crucial aspect in trading, which can make a difference between success and failure. And a really good psychology can accelerate your trading journey, but a bad one could also really diminish your success in trading and your whole learning curve in general. So, first, let's talk about why psychology in trading is so important. Because many people talk about psychology and technical analysis 50%, whatever it might be. But me and Hamza, we share the same opinion. In our opinion, it's pretty much 100%, 100%, I would say.
Definitely.
Like, you can't go with, like, if you're trading, like, I don't know, some weird patterns or whatever, and you have no edge in the markets, you can have the best psychology. If you don't know where to buy, where to sell, you're not going to make money at the end of the day.
Yeah, so definitely I would say, as you said, like 100% trading, 100% psychology, and also 100% risk management. And as you guys know, we put value on all of these aspects. So the psychology before a trade, during a trade, and after a trade are also very big components of our trading journey. And trading of itself, you have to have a playbook in place, etc. And I'm sure we're gonna dive in to that later on. And also, after you are in the trade, how you're managing your risk, and also like throughout your journey, not just on one trade, like over 100 trades and stuff like this. So I would say just let's start with the first topic, and I'm sure we're gonna do a deep dive into trading psychology, because I really think that's like one of the most important topics when it comes to traders that have like an edge in the markets, but don't see results yet. And if they have accomplished like a good psychology, a good mental health, I think that's when they really gonna see those results, and it's gonna snowball from there.
Yeah, definitely, man. I totally agree. Risk management, I think, would be too much if we dive into the risk management too much today. I think that will be another episode where we really like discuss like the importance of risk management. But we can dive into it a little bit, of course. Um, so yeah, I mean, let's talk about it, Hamza.
So I think that's a good brief introduction in what we want to talk about during this podcast. So Kadir, what are, in your opinion, the most important aspects when it comes to trading psychology?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good question. It's a really good question. Um, for me, in total honesty, the most important aspects in my trading psychology personally is definitely having patience and discipline, and of course the right risk management. I mean, uh, that's a must. And yeah, many people may ask now, like, how do you get discipline, and what do you mean with being disciplined? And yeah, those are just like things that you have to develop over time.
Do you think someone can teach you like patience, discipline through a course?
That's a really good question, and you know my answer already. Um, I don't believe people can teach that. I really doubt that anyone can teach you discipline, and nobody can teach you patience in
Yeah.
general. I mean, you know me. I'm not the most patient guy, but when it comes to the market taught me otherwise.
Yeah.
Like the markets really, like trading really taught me like to be disciplined, to be honest, and to be patient. I was always disciplined, but I was never like patient, to be honest. I was always disciplined. Like back, like when I before A levels, I was working like on the weekends, and then after my A levels, I was just jumped in right like to work and everything. I always was disciplined, and I was always a hardworking person, um, because I enjoyed it. I want to achieve something and want to provide something eventually, because we're men and everything. But that patient factor was big, was really big, like in trading, because I realized, okay, man, you can't be impatient and make money in these markets, like,
Mm.
because that saying from Warren Buffett, like where he says like the impatient people transfer their money to the patient ones, and it's really the truth. Like
Mhm.
back then I was laughing at that, because we were scalping gold like on the 1 minutes like crazy, like 2020 COVID, man,
Yeah.
we were scalping like, I don't know, but after a while you really realize like patience is the key and discipline is the key. Nowadays it doesn't phase me anymore if I miss a trading setup, you know it doesn't phase me at all. Like if my setup is there when I'm in front of the charts, I'll take it. If not, it is what it is, man. I really don't care. I couldn't care less, especially since we're trading gold most of the time. You can have setups every day. Like right now, market conditions are not the best. We're still killing it, like
Yeah.
alhamdulillah. But uh, still, like normally, you'll get moves every session on gold. Gold, you guys know it also. People who are trading gold know it. You will get moves every day, every session, basically. But right now, it's not like that. Still, you're gonna get moves, of course. But anyways, like I don't get phased anymore if I'm losing. Like if I'm missing setup, not losing. And if I'm losing, also I don't care, because at the end of the day, trading gets really, really easy once you're not over risking, and that's a fact. Whenever you're over risking, there is like a cloud going in front of your eyes. Like it's really like that. I think you like many people experience it like that. Like, and I really realized that once I started to record myself while I'm in a trade. Like that was really big for me. Like once I started to record myself, I realized, okay, look at that. Like this trade, I was so calm and collected. I traded perfectly. Like took my partial when I said I would take it. Took my entry when I said I would take it. Took like put my stop in the right place. Didn't move my stop. 3 years ago, I used to move my
Mm.
stop, man. Like, and that scalp. I mean, you execute that trade. It's a scalp trade. Now it's a swing trade,
Yeah.
and then you're holding that thing for 200 pips in drawdown. And unfortunately, the bad thing is some of those trades even played out. And that's the bad part, because once you get those bad profits, I'd like to call it, like the profits that you're not even supposed to take because you're doing something bad in the markets. Like I never forget that one sell that we had, and then we held that through all the FOMC, and FOMC pumped up aggressively, and we held that trade, and afterwards that thing went into profits.
Yeah.
And that's not good, because then we thought, okay, if we just hold on to that trade, it may play out, and it's not how trading works, man. So yeah, to go back to the to your question, I don't think anybody can teach you patience and discipline. You have to go through that. We went through it, bro. You know it. Like we went through it. Like we used to be really impatient. I mean, I specifically, like I think you were also always like a little bit more patient, but I was really impatient, and trading really taught me that, I have to say.
But what kind of actions do you take to stay patient and disciplined over time? Because I know a lot of people can be patient for a day, for a session, for a week, maybe for a month or for a few months. But how do you make sure that you can stay patient throughout your entire journey?
Yeah, that's a good question, brother. That's a good question, and that's actually something that many people ask. Like, I also hear it on many podcasts, um, because there are very few, I would say, like disciplined and really patient traders. We are seeing a lot of like traders who are like, especially on Twitter, like guys who are never like taking losses. Apparently, like
Mm.
of course they're taking losses, but they're not posting them, and guys who are taking trades every day, every session, every hour, and they're always banking profits. How is that working? Like those guys should be multi-millionaires, billionaires, maybe. So, but of course, that's the side they're showing. But the reality of trading is completely different. Like that's why I always say, like, don't go on social media. I would say that's the first point. Don't go
Yeah.
on social media. Social media is great if you use it the right way. I really have to say this, like, because social media taught me a lot of stuff. I mean, we grabbed our stuff like from everyone a little bit, and then eventually like formed our own strategy. How did we do that? I mean, if we didn't have social media, we would not be here today. You know, social media taught me English. Many things. Like so. Yeah. To go back to the question, I jump a little bit here and there, but it's fine. I mean, it's a podcast kind of thing. So, um, I would say first cut off social media. That was like a big part when I really started my journey. Like, yeah, that my trading got way better. I unfollowed all of those flashy traders who are flexing. I'm not saying it's bad or good, neutral, but I'm just saying like a trader who posts his Lambo and is not giving you like any like value other than that. Like he's not giving you a trade breakdown. He's not explaining you how he made the money, and he's not proving it also. Like because you have to prove that you made the money. Where are the certificates? That's the beauty of the prop firms, right? I really love that because you can't fake prop firm certificates like the
Yeah.
payouts. You can fake a personal account on these unregulated, regulated, like offshore brokerages. Yeah, me and you, we can open a brokerage tomorrow, maybe. I mean, it will be expensive, but we can do it on a white label, whatever. But you can fake all of that, but you can't fake a prop firm payout. You can't do that.
Definitely.
You know,
And
at
it's
least with the reputable.
third party verification, basically.
Exactly. At least with the reputable ones, you can do it. I'm
Yeah.
sure there are some shady firms who do that actually, but with the reputable ones, no, man, you're not gonna do that. So, cut out social media. That's really important. Like, follow the people who are giving you value. Follow those kind of people who are posting charts, trade breakdowns on YouTube. Follow those people and share with your friends so they get also the value. And yeah, that's a point for sure. Another point is, of course, like we're only talking by the way about like you can only do this actually if you have an edge in the markets, because what I was about to say was like to wait for your A plus setups. But to know your A plus setup, you have to have a strategy. You have to have an edge in the markets. So another point would be to wait for your A plus setup. Yeah, that's a big one. But for that, you need an edge in the markets, of course. So you're not gonna be able to wait for your A plus setup if you don't have a setup. So you have to know what you're looking for in the markets, and I would make it as specific as possible. So try to make your strategy as mechanical as possible. I know it's possible to a certain point because since, for example, like we are also looking at price action really like yeah, in detail. We like to dissect every single candle. It's a bit tough to make it mechanical, but things like supply and demand, imbalances, trend, identifying the trend, not trend shift, market structure shift. These are like mechanical stuff. You can automate this. Like You can be specific. Okay, if I see this, this is a break of structure, this is a market structure shift, all of that, you know. So these kind of things are pretty clear. But price action, how the candle closed above the wick, below the wick, strong body closures, whatever, these are a little bit more subjective, I would say, because a candle closure that I would like, maybe you would not like it that much, you know. So yeah. Uh, and a further point I would say definitely is to get used to losing, man. Like, I'm not saying to get used to losing by just taking the random losses, but if the setup is valid and it's an A plus setup, be okay with losing that trade. And the only way that you can be okay with losing that trade is if you don't over risk. Because if I'm putting 1% risk on that trade, I will not be crying around, you know?
And also, if you know your statistics, like
Of course.
no setup or no strategy has a 100% win rate. We know
No.
this. So, um, if you have your A plus setup in place,
Yeah.
and don't over risk, go with a normal risk percentage, whatever you're comfortable with, and you have to gather the data for that A plus setup. So, if I know or you know that your A plus setup has a, let's say, win rate of 70% with a risk reward of 1 to 3, 1 to 4, whatever, you know that out of 10 trades you will have 3 losers, you know, or out of 1,000 trades you will have 300 losers and 700 winners. So it's good that you know what your setup is and also what your data looks like, because I'm sure most of you guys, when you hit a loss on your A plus setup, you get really upset. And as soon as you get upset, you know that you don't have your data in place. So you have to get back to the drawing board and make sure what your data looks like. Because that's the only way you can figure out, okay, now it was a loss. Tomorrow it's maybe going to be a win statistically, whatever, you know?
Definitely, man, definitely. I agree completely. Like, gathering data, I think that's like the one of the most important things in a journey of a trader, I would say. Like, because at the end of the day, a mentor can teach you everything. You know, you can take his strategy, you can take everything, but you have, like, even if he gives you the blueprint, you know, which we do give, you know, like,
Yeah.
to our members, we do give them the blueprint. Like, you don't have to go through all of the stress that we went through, you know. And it's not a joke, like, we're actually doing that, you know. We're giving the whole blueprint of our strategy, all of the secret sauce, you know. We're giving it away for a cost, of course. um, and for those people, it's more than worth it. Why? Because they don't have to go through all of the pain that we went
Yeah.
through by like looking for an edge in the market, especially on gold. It's not easy. There is a reason, guys, why you don't see any ICT traders or any SMC traders. Maybe they are, and I don't know. Like, you know, no disrespect here, you know, but there is a reason why you have like very few traders trading gold, like really consistently over a longer period of time and being profitable, you know, consistently profitably trading gold. There are very few people out there. I know it because I like know many gold traders out there, you know, the majority of them, and majority of them are fake, unfortunately. So yeah, I definitely agree, man. Like, gathering data is so important because a mentor, we can give them the strategy, but they still have to put the reps in. We can't do that for them. They have to put the reps in, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm giving you the blueprint. If A happens to B, if B happens to C, and everything. Like, if you see the candle like this, whatever it might be, you know, like structure, price action, technical stuffs, I can tell you that, but you have to put the reps in. Many people don't get this. Like, you guys have to put the reps in, guys. Like, many of you guys may think, I buy a course and it's done. No, it's not like that. I mean, we don't even have a course, but it doesn't work like that. You know, you're not gonna buy a course and you're gonna be profitable in 1 month. It doesn't work like that. Anybody who advertises that, like, man, just don't trust them. It's super shady in my opinion, because of the fact that I believe that you have to put the reps in yourself. You know, you have to go in and back test. You have to go in and forward test, and then put real money on it. You know, put $100 into a brokerage and try to see, okay, is this strategy really working? You know, or buy a prop firm challenge. A 5K challenge is $30, man. That's $25. You can buy that challenge and try, see, is it working? Because once real money is involved, it's different, man. Like, I'm telling you that. Like, you can trade on demo and be like, man, this thing is easy. You remember our first day trading demo?
Yeah.
Like, me and Hamza we were up about like $25. We were like, man, this is easy money. Couple minutes, $25. Like, let's go live. We went live the next day. It was so stupid.
Yeah.
If I think about it, like, I would not recommend that at all. Like, we went live right away, even though we had no strategy. Once you have your strategy, you should go live, definitely. But first, like, get a strategy at least. Why are you trying to trial and error on your money, on your hard-earned money? Because you know you're gonna lose. I mean, because you don't have an edge in the markets, you don't have a strategy. There is no like no point in that. So yeah.
Okay, so let's say you are you are in your trading journey, you are an up and coming trader, and you are not profitable yet. Let's say you are a break even trader. Like you have a time span of a year and you ended the year in break even. What do you think about that?
I mean, many traders would maybe say like that trader is a bad trader, but I would say that trader is better than 90% of traders.
Mm.
Funny enough, like because if I have a break-even month or a break-even year, I'm outperforming 90% of traders.
Yeah.
People have to realize that. Like, it's so funny. Like, I can put money into a brokerage and not trade now for the rest of June or for the rest of the year, and I will outperform 9% of the traders,
Mm.
And then maybe I take one trade and I'm up 2%. Done. Like, most of my payouts are like that. I take one trade and it's done. If I lose, I take another trade. Maybe then it's done, or I have another losing loss. So yeah, I mean, don't feel bad if you have a break even month. Don't feel bad if you have a break even week. Because it only takes one trade and you're up in profits. But the other guys who are in drawdown, they have to make that drawdown back. They have to crumble their way out of drawdown first before they will see profits. So that's a big point. Yeah.
So I think it's great to really have that mindset of a break-even trader, because that person is one step closer to becoming profitable. As you said, like it takes only one trade to end the week or the month or the year in profits. So could you maybe tell us a story about the topic of patience, of discipline? Does anything like come into your mind what you would want to share with the community?
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Like, I mean, I have many stories actually, like, but yeah, I mean, I one key, one key turning point for me in my trading was definitely, I remember it very well, like 2021. That last account didn't blow it, but almost blew it pretty much, like 9% gone of that account. And from there on, because it was a good chunk of money, back then I was pretty like fresh married, yeah, back then it was a good chunk of money, it was 20K. And I didn't blow that account completely, but almost blew it. And after that, I took a break, I took a break of like 2 months. And after those 2 months, I said to myself, okay, man, you're married now. you can't like fail anymore. Like there is no room for failure anymore. Like I can't be like going full margin. I can't be like going like over risking crazy or over trading like crazy. Over trading was a big thing for me. I used to over trade like crazy. So I said to myself, like if I want to take this thing seriously, and I was working on the side back then, if I want to take this thing seriously, I really have to make now a turning point. Like I wanted to see a change, but to see that change, I had to make a change. So at that point, I said to myself, man, you're not the most patient person, but you're gonna develop that. I watched many podcasts like back then, like from real like OG traders, and read a lot of books also. And yeah, after that break, it was just something that clicked. Like I really started to take this skill seriously, and I really started to see it also as a career. You know, because I realized, okay, I know you can make crazy money in these markets, but you have to take it seriously. And I thought to myself, okay, I don't want to be chasing today's profit, tomorrow's profit. I don't want to chase profits in general. I want to be trading the same way I want to be trading in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And that mindset shift changed a lot for me, taking maybe one trade a day, maybe max 2 trades a day. And even though I was a scalper, I really started to see that change for me in my psychology, because I was really protecting my mental capital, and my mental capital was drained completely because I was taking so many trades. So yeah, I would say like that's like one of my stories like that really like stuck with me, I would say. So Hamza, let's go into like some elements of the emotions in trading, because emotions are a big part of psychology,
Mm.
and we both know like you go through like different kind of crazy emotions in trading. Like you can be like at one point you're fearful, at one point you're greedy. Like fear and greed, everybody knows it. Um, so what do you think like about these type of emotions? How do you handle them? Like, because I mean, I know it. You can handle it really, really well. Even I'm sometimes amazed, like how like honestly, guys, like I'm not even joking in here, like really, because I know, like for example, one trade I don't forget it till now. Like I think it's a couple months ago,
Yeah.
and Hamza took a sell. That trade was like in really good profit. It came back even in drawdown, but he didn't care at all. Like he was just holding it. He was so confident in that trade, but he didn't over leverage. That's a big part.
Yeah.
He didn't over leverage, and he just held that trade. You know, he also didn't like try to scale in like crazy or something. He just held that trade, and his idea played out. Like he was, because he was looking for a big move, like 200 pips. Um, and yeah, he got his move on the next day. And I was truly amazed. I didn't even know that he was still holding that position. So I know for a fact that you can handle emotions really, really well in trading, much better than me for sure. So tell us about it, bro. Like, how do you do it?
Yeah, so as you said, like emotions are really, really key aspects when it comes to trading in general. As you mentioned, fear, for example, because fear can cause you, for example, to not take a trade or maybe close a trade too early in drawdown or too early in a little bit of profit. Because especially if you like think of gold, for example, like gold moves a lot, like
Exactly.
back in the days, I remember when we first saw gold, like it was a heaven for us. I don't know like how the other guys feel like it, but after like trading euro USD, which moves maybe 40-50 pips in a day, like has a daily range on an average of 50 pips maybe, and you see like 5 minute candles on gold that have like 50 pips. Obviously in the beginning I had fear of executing, because it moves just so much. But then over time, I just realized, okay, I just have to uh, position size accordingly to gold, because it moves more and much faster, etc. And also, for example, greed is maybe one of the bigger emotions than fear, because we have it naturally in us to be greedy. Why? Because life is like a survival game, and if you want to survive, you have to be greedy normally, But when it comes to trading, you have to forget about greed. You have to forget about that, because maybe your strategy tells you to close, or your playbook tells you to at least take some partials, whatever. But you think like, oh my god, that gold momentum that it has right now can come and create a new all-time high, whatever, like, because people like to uh like fake themselves out,
Yeah.
like, yes, gold does a lot of fakes out during the day, but the worst fake out is the fake out that we do to our own selves. And I think that's with greed, because if you are up, let's say, on a trade, and price action tells you to close or to take partials at least, then you have to change something, like you can't be greedy in the market. And also, what's another point is, I think, impatience. Because if you are impatient, you can take trades that are not A plus setups yet. Maybe they will become A plus setups, but after 50 minutes, maybe, or after an hour, or maybe the next day. Like, your bias can be right, but market is not mature yet, like it's in a premature state where your setup does not present itself yet. And if you are an impatient person, I would suggest you just go off the charts and
Yeah.
come back. If you are a scalper, come back after 5 minutes, after 15 minutes, whatever,
Yeah.
If you are a swing trader, then come back and the next day.
That's actually something that we used to do, right? Like, we would like, because we would trade like the 1 minute like crazy. Would look like, okay, right now doesn't even make sense to take a trade, so let's just put alerts and wait till price comes to our area, and then look at the charts, because before you might force a trade and it's not even making sense. So yeah, that's a really good point, brother. That's a really good point.
So just so um, the people watching us can have a better understanding of you and me, what do you think about journaling? Do you journal? Do you journal your trades, your emotions? What is your take on that?
I mean, of course, we journal our trades. It's the boring part of trading, but it's the truth. Like, you have to journal your trades. If you're not journaling, you're missing out, man. Like anyone who's not consistent and he's asking himself like why, and you're not journaling, it's probably because you're not journaling. Because even if you're not if you're not having a profitable strategy, you will find it with journaling, because that's how we found it. You're seeing, okay, this works, this doesn't work, this works, this doesn't work, and eventually you'll see, okay, this works over and over again, let me just keep on doing this. It's a no-brainer. I mean, it's pretty obvious. So I know, guys, it's boring. I mean, we also don't love it, to be honest, like, in total honesty.
Yeah.
But if you want to run a multiple, if you want to run a like 6-figure business, 7-figure business, are you gonna just run the business and hope for the best, or are you gonna look at your business reports, look every day, okay, what did we do at the end of the week and the end of the month? Like, you will look at your numbers, and in trading it's not different. Like, I don't know why like people are like in trading, like, yeah, let me just try some things and it will work, like, I'll make money. You're not gonna make money with that, with that attitude. Like, man, you're competing, we said this before, like, you're competing against the smartest people on earth, pretty much, I would say. So in order to really like make money from this, you have to be professional. You have to like have a plan and everything, you know, like. And we said playbook. You're gonna only get a playbook by journaling your trades. You have to know what works. Gather your data. That's why we are so confident. Many people in the Discord, they ask us, "Man, you guys are so confident in your trades. Why are you so confident? Like you can hold these positions and you're just moving your stop. We're just trading our stop, but like maximizing our winners. You know, it's just because of journaling."
And the funny part is, uh, no one will recognize who is streaming that day.
Yeah,
They will not recognize it because we both are like true to our playbook. We are loyal to our setups. We are loyal to ourselves as traders. Why? Because we are both patient, we are both disciplined, and we both know what we are looking for and when the setup is going to present itself. And that's really like the funny thing, because unless I'm saying that I'm Hamza and he is saying that he's Kadir, no one knows who's actually streaming, because our voices are also like pretty similar. So that's why I guess like people don't recognize it, but it's really funny.
yeah. I mean, yeah, a lot of people also think we're twins, but we're not. You know, like guys, he's 3 years older than me.
Yeah.
He's older. But yeah, definitely, man. And people don't realize it because we just put the time in, and I don't know how many hours we back tested together and gathered data. Like we really put the hours in, you know.
Yeah.
And back then it was not fun, maybe, but now we're milking the profits with that, you know. Like we're earning, like we really deserve this at this point, you know, because
for sure.
I mean, I know what you went through, you know what I went through, and I mean, we both heard it multiple times, also from family members, like, stop doing it, it's a scam. You guys lost so much money, but bro, we both knew like we're never gonna stop this.
Yeah.
Like I said this multiple times, I can quit any career, but I will not quit trading. I will not do it because this is a blessing.
Yeah.
This skill set is really a blessing in my opinion. Like, and nobody should ever like give up on trading because you can only lose like if you quit. That's
Definitely.
of course, if you're a gambler and you lost like a lot of money, you should really rethink and reevaluate everything. But if you take it serious, man, it's gonna pay. No doubt about it. Like we're the best example of
Yeah.
it. Like,
Because as you said, like it is actually like a crucial point that you said, like about you're competing against the smartest people, the smartest teams, the banks, whatever, you know, like we are not like competing with them, but we are trying to make profits like them, you know.
yeah,
And I think it's not possible to outsmart these people.
yeah,
Like it's not possible. You can maybe recognize some patterns or certain times where they get into the market and where price really moves and stuff like this. But you will never outsmart those guys. You can only outpatient them, outdiscipline them, you know, like even if these probably are not really words, but you get my point. You
Yeah,
as a
of course.
person, you as a trader can be patient, can be disciplined, can be loyal to your playbook, can be accountable to someone else. For example, like we are doing it. Like back in the days where we like did not start this community and stuff, we were still pretty much like partners in terms of we were both accountable to each other.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we would sit down. Maybe when we are like next to each other, we'll do it like in person. If not, then we will hop on a Zoom. I'm not kidding. Like we really hopped on Zoom calls with each other, and we went through all of our P&Ls. If I have, let's say, 5 accounts, he has 10 accounts, he would go through all the accounts and I would go through all my accounts. And I would say, this trade I took, that trade, that win, that loss, whatever. And we would really do that. And I would really recommend everyone who's watching, if you have a friend, it doesn't have to be a like in-person friend. It can be also an online friend, whatever. Just like a friend that is also in trading, because that makes it a little bit easier. Just be accountable to each other. And if you really have no one, then just tell your wife, tell your husband, or tell your mom, your father. I don't know. Like, try to have someone that is accountable for you. You know, because I think like if you have your phone or your laptop and you're trading, no one knows what you are doing unless you tell them.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like the really crucial and dangerous part about trading, because no one's gonna know if you don't tell them. Like all those people on social media that you talked about that only share their wins. No one's gonna know their losses unless they post their losses. You know,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like, if you can't embrace your losses, then you're not gonna make it.
Yeah, we have to normalize losses, man. Like people like once you like you know it. Like sometimes we post it on Twitter. I post a loss, and the guy is saying like, "Man, keep your head up, man. Like, keep going, man. You got this." I'm like, what? Like I'm not crying around, like I'm not whining like a baby or something. Like I'm just posting a trade to give like value, like to provide like some information to people, and yeah, it's so funny because people like directly like associate a loss with something really negative, whereas it's just statistics, like you're gonna have losses, like it's unavoidable, like it's
Yeah.
impossible to avoid losses. Nobody has 100% win rate. Anybody who says he has 100% win rate, man, just run away,
Yeah.
I mean, a famous mentor like had like a 96% win rate, but I don't know if that's true. But yeah, jokes aside, I mean, just from Twitter, I'm seeing like how unhealthy people's mind are. Like it's just like, sorry to say that, but just so stupid. Like that you think that you can really like predict the market perfectly every single time. It's not possible, man. It's impossible. You know, and we're not predicting anything. We're just assuming. We're just assuming that market will do the same thing that we saw 100 times, 500 times, 600, 700 times over and over again. We're assuming that the market will do the same, but that market doesn't have to do the same. People don't get this. So yeah. So we pretty much talked about the whole journaling and being accountable and stuff like this. But what I know of you is you also do something a little bit different than journaling. Mm. You also have a certain, let's say, checklist before entering a trade. Like, can you elaborate a little bit on that? Yeah, that's very true. I mean, that's also another game changer. You picked on something really important on that. Like, um, as we talk about trading psychology, that's like really like a game changer that will change a lot of things. Like, if you have a checklist before you're entering a trade, that will really like cut out a lot of trades, a lot of bad trades, and you will not be like seeing yourself like overtrade. You will not end up overtrading if you have a checklist. That's just my opinion, because you can. So you can, you can overtrade. It's impossible, because for me, if I have that checklist and I took the trade and I lost, impossible that I get into another trade because it will not fulfill the checklist. Mm. Because if I lost, the trade idea is invalid, because I always put my stop at a place where it makes sense. I always put my stop loss there where price invalidates my whole idea. And that's why like a lot of people are really like yeah, they're really surprised like when they see like a trade of mine, like the trade hits my stop loss, and then price just smashes through that area aggressively, 100 pips, 50 pips at least, you know. And that's a really good feeling for me because then I know, okay, my idea was like at that point for my stop loss idea was invalid, and that's fine, you know. You can be wrong on your bias or your direction a couple days. It's completely fine, but I don't like trades that are like just wicking me out or something, you know. But yeah, just to go back to the question, like definitely they have a checklist, of course. Every professional trader should have a checklist. I mean, just as an example, like are we in a supply or demand, or are we in an important imbalance, 1 hour forward imbalance? Did I see a shift to structure? You know, am I seeing price action confirmations? That's really key. I don't enter without price action confirmations. Like I don't enter on imbalances or demand or supply zones just randomly. You know, always wait for confirmations, shifts of structures, candle confirmations. Is my candle formation confirmation there? I look for specific candle formations, enter on that. Yeah, those are like a couple examples I would say, and yeah, that's pretty important. Like for me, my trading without my checklist, I would be screwed, man. Like definitely, I would not be this composed. Like because right now, like alhamdulillah, like I'm really composed in my trading. I'm really, uh, yeah, I'm really trading discipline, patient, everything, you know. And this is all just because of my playbook and all of the data that I have that I can trust on. So Hamza, we talked a lot about playbook. Like, how can a trader really be loyal to his playbook? Because many people are maybe like one day are really disciplined. We had that back in the day, right? Like 3 days out of the week you're disciplined, 2 days you're reckless. You know, like you can't be patient to wait for your playbook to play out and your setups and everything. So, what would you say? Like, what are like some key factors that you would say to have that you can be loyal to your playbook?
So first of all, you have to know your data. So that's key. You have to know your win rate, your average risk reward ratio, your trade frequency. So how often are you going to be able to take a trade with your playbook, and how are you going to manage those trades? And if you know all this, you have your information in place, and you want to make profits, you want to become a profitable trader, a consistent trader, you are going to stick to that playbook.
Yeah.
Because what's the point in not sticking to a playbook and losing over and over and over again? There's no point in that. And what comes to my mind when I'm also like thinking about now, like a little bit of a psychological aspect, and what people can really try to do is, after you analyze the charts, let's say you were coming for a New York session, you're analyzing the chart, and you have a certain bias. Let's say you are bullish on the session, on the day, whatever, and you think like, okay, from that demand area or from that imbalance or structural point, whatever, you will probably see some good confirmations and enter a trade, and it will work out. Okay, that's what 99% of traders are doing. But what I'm doing is, after I have done that first step, I add another thing to that, and that's imagination. What am I imagining? I'm imagining that that zone, or that imbalance, whatever it is, does not hold. For example, if I'm waiting for a bullish reaction, I just imagine that I'm gonna get a small move, small reaction, and then an immediate drop, like a nasty drop. And if you imagine that, you will be patient on your trades. You You're not gonna execute directly. And the good thing is, if you are patient and wait for a good setup, it's a win or a loss, whatever. The outcome we don't control that. But let's say it's a loss, because when it's a win, it's a win. Like you are the best man on earth. You're best. Like no one cares about anything after the win. But let's say it is a loss. So your bias was wrong, okay, and that's pretty normal. But when you imagined that before, you're not going to be surprised when it happens. You're mentally prepared for the loss. And also, a side effect of that is that you are not going to revenge trade, because you imagine that price will whip through that zone. And you pretty much did just a few seconds of imagination, and maybe you secured so many things: mental capital, avoided losses, didn't revenge trade, whatever. And I think that's like one of the biggest things that I've done, because for me, like, not to sound cocky or whatever, I believe that I'm a really smart person, and I am also like a very success driven person. Like, even if I just play a game, like, it doesn't matter whatever, like, it. A lot of my friends, family, they know
Yeah,
it.
it's true.
So I want to be the winner. Like, I don't care about what
Yeah.
it is. I want to win, and I have this in myself. And if I'm wrong on a certain analysis, that really affected me, and I really revenge traded a lot.
Yeah.
And that was like the biggest, let's say, enemy of my trading journey, that I revenge traded and married the bias. And that was like really something that I didn't develop like myself. I really got it from a performance coach back in the days. And like, all the money invested in that performance coach is really well invested. Probably like the best return on investment I've done so far on a course or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you like really do this, like, try this, and I'm sure you're going to see a change. And if you combine that with the checklist that Kadir just told you guys, I think if you have like a really proven edge in the markets, if you have a good strategy, you will see a change. And if you don't see a change, then I guess you are doing something wrong. Like, maybe you are lying to yourself, or you you should probably not trade at all.
Yeah,
To be-
because
to be
most of the
honest.
people, I think, majority of the people, they really know like what they're doing wrong. Because I mean, we know it. Like, we used to do the same. Most of the mistakes are the same mistakes that you do over and over and over again. Like, most people are doing the same mistakes, just repetitive. You know, like, they're taking a loss and then taking another trade, whereas they should just call it a day. The damage is done, but if the damage is normal, like, it's just a 1% loss, let's say, on a funded account, or a 0.5% loss on a funded account, that's completely fine. Tomorrow you can come back, have a win, make that 1% back, and you'll be 1% up. But once you go beyond that, then it starts to become like not like you can't recover that anymore. That it's gonna be tough. Like, once you are at the daily loss, almost 5%, man, that's a lot. You need a couple trades to make that back. But you're in that tunnel at that point, and that's really important. That's why we always say, like, have somebody to keep you accountable, guys. Like, I don't know, get a trader friend. I don't know if you have a wife, girlfriend, husband, whatever. like get someone that can keep you accountable. I think that's a really like a big game changer. Someone that can punish you, like even like I mean, it can be I don't know. You can donate like $100.
Yeah, we actually did that.
Yeah. So you can make something like that you'll say, okay, next time I'm gonna break my rule, and you see this like to that person that keeps you accountable, I have to donate $100 or $200. Like an amount that hurts a little bit. It should not be like something that you can donate really easy. Like no, like $20, $50. It depends on where you live, of course, but at least like $100, $200, something that should hurt you a little bit. But at least it's going to a good cause. You can donate it. Uh, but that's something really good because that will teach you that, okay, last time I did that, I donated, like I lost money or whatever, so I had that punishment, or don't treat yourself that good, like don't eat too well, like give yourself that feeling, okay, like I don't deserve this right now because I'm not a disciplined person. I'm an undisciplined, impatient person right now, and I have to get better. And it's fine to be like that, but you have to evolve and have to develop. And you're only gonna get that if you realize that you are in a place that you should not be in. You should not be comfortable with that. It's nothing to be comfortable. You should be feeling really uncomfortable, and you should be mad at yourself that you are not at the point where you want to be. And strive forward and just try to level up, but take your time, of course. Don't rush the process. um, that's the worst thing that you can also do, like in trading. Rushing never works. You have to be disciplined and take your time, man. That's really important. So Hamza, I mean, we talked a lot about many things at this point, many different aspects in trading, about trading psychology, risk management, playbooks, and all of it. So what do you think, like, what would be a key advice that you would give a trader or your younger self when you started? What would be a key advice that you would give a person starting out right now for a long-term success in this industry?
Yeah, I would tell them a few things, not just one thing. First of all, stay patient, stay composed. It's going to be a long journey. It's not going to happen overnight. That's for sure. Like maybe your first ever trade is going to be a winner, but I'm going to tell you that like you will have to be patient with your success. And also like this is like a pretty like standard thing now, but like for example in football, like you see all these stars and stuff, football stars, really good players, and also they like most of the time people see them as overnight successes, and but the reality is that they are probably like playing football since they are started walking, or started running back then, like when they were kids and stuff. So I would really say stay patient. Success will not come overnight, and also um, don't look at trading money wise. Like don't look at everything monetary, because in trading everything is percentage wise, and so if you have good capital, small percentages will also make some good money, good return in monetary amounts. So also with the prop firms right now, like you have like pretty much a lot of leverage in terms of capital that you can trade with. So I would say stay patient and keep learning. Uh, don't be that guy that says I'm the smartest in the room. I know everything, because I'm sure you don't know everything, and you can become better. And also, because we talked about like being accountable, stuff like this. I would also recommend everyone to join a certain community and really surround themselves with good traders, good people, and honest people. Because um, I think that's like the most important thing. Because we as humans, we are social creatures, and especially when it comes to trading, you should not be alone. Like you have to be accountable. Of course, um, this finger will be the finger that presses the buy or the sell button or the mouse click, whatever. But being accountable after that is what's important. Like, of course, I'm gonna trade what I'm gonna trade, or Martin or whatever, Lucas is going to trade whatever he wants to trade. But if he thinks about the fact that he's going to be accountable, let's say to Robert, then he will maybe think again before pressing that button. You know. So I think that's really really key. And if you have a community where people are really honest to yourself, they will tell you also that you are not going to see success like in a few months or something. Like I think if you do everything right in trading from the beginning, it will probably take you a year at least.
At
At
least like
least a
that's the bare
year
minimum.
for you to see some growth, and also like at the end of the day, why we're trading is like to make money to live from that and stuff like this. So and also I think what's really important is developing a consistent routine. Because if you are consistent in your routine, you're going to be consistent in life, you're going to be consistent in trading, in everything you do. So I would really be consistent with that routine. I would go analyze the markets daily. Don't take a trade just because you woke up at that time and price is in any area, like in a supply or a demand, whatever, in an imbalance, and you think like, okay, that's a sign of God that I just woke up at the right moment or something. Like, don't do that. And and also like review your performance. This can be through journaling. This can be through a performance coach, whatever. I would really recommend that. And also, obviously, like this is, I think, for every business, um, take care of your health, not only physical health, but also mental health. So I would really point that out. Go to the gym, work out, like, and also like, for example, we do like martial arts. Also, like anything where you um, get into a movement, and also like what's a really good thing is if you are like kind of angry at anything, with martial arts you can really like let those emotions out pretty nicely, and don't let those emotions out like on the markets, because that will hurt more in the end. So I think that's also really really good that we are doing this. And also mental health, how can you like be mentally strong, is I think for example, we are religious guys. We pray, and like uh, we are aware that all of this is going to end someday. Like everyone's gonna die at some point. So, what's the point of one trade?
Yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculous. And also, what happens like around the world right now? Like, who cares about like one trade? That's nothing. That's really like, and if you like see yourself like as a mountain or something, you're gonna be the dust in the markets. You're gonna be dust.
That's a pretty good point, actually, bro, that you touched on, because that's a tweet actually that I posted like a week ago, I think. Like, I mean, many people like ask me like, okay, how can you hold that trade? Like, how are you able to hold your trades? And I'm like, man, like people are like in man used to go to war, like we would be on the battlefield, like chopping heads off, like and fighting, like. And right now, like there's still war around the world. You know, there's still war in the Middle East, uh, in that region, and it will be always war probably like there. It's a really desired land throughout history. It was always desired for every religion. Uh, so on one side of the world you have people like fighting for their life, and on one side you have that guy in Europe who's like spoiled so much from their from his parents, and he can't even hold a position on a 100K simulated funded account. It's not even a real account, it's a funded account, simulated demo account, you know, and he can't even hold that trade on a demo account. Like what kind of man is that, you know? Like people should just I mean, I'm not trying to like, you know, like sound cocky or something. I'm just trying to wake up guys, you know, because I wish I had like I found guys like us back in the day when I started, and yeah, those guys would have woken us up, you know, like at that point, you know. So understand this, guys. Like many people like have to really like maybe write this above your screen or something. Like I don't know, market will move with or without you, man. Like the market really doesn't care, guys. Like just really like understand this. Like the market will move, is moving right now probably. You know, I mean, yes, right now it's close, I think, but crypto is moving or whatever. You know, like market will always move. You know, with or without you. Like it doesn't matter if you press buy or sell. Like we're not moving anything in the markets. We're really like a tiny fraction of the markets. Like you know, so especially now since majority of the retail guys are trading like profit, so we're even less than that. You know, so just understand that nothing is changing. Just in your mind, something is changing. You know, and as long as you're not over risking in your mind, also not much change. You know, so yeah, that's a really good point, brother.
Yeah, so I mean, like the point with the simulated accounts is really hilarious. I have to laugh like every time I hear that. So I think like to wrap it up now is like trading psychology in general will like pay you over time. Maybe at first you can maybe think like, okay, I'm trading less or making less money, whatever, you know, like because you're risking a little bit less and stuff like this, or you're taking less trades, whatever. So, but it will eventually be a factor for your trading success. Because as you said in the beginning, it's 100% trading, it's 100% psychology, it's 100% risk management. It's not 50-50 or it's 99, 10, whatever. I don't care about anything, what other people say. For me, it's 100% trading, 100% psychology, 100% risk management. And if you really improve your trading psychology, you will you will be profitable. You will become successful as a trader because you will become more resilient. You will develop discipline. You will control your emotions. So that's why I think that's like the most important topic to talk about. Because, for example, in our Discord, we are talking way more about like trading itself because that's like the part where people struggle, and it's also like the first step to actually becoming successful. Because as you said in the beginning, it doesn't matter if you have like the best psychology. If you don't know anything about trading, you're not going to make money. You know? So that's why we also wanted to talk about this because a lot of our content is already about trading, but I think our psychology is as good as our trading skills. So if you enjoyed this podcast kind of video, give us a thumbs up. Um, Subscribe obviously to the channel that will help us also to grow, and comment down below what points were the most interesting and most like helpful for you after you tried it out yourself. And make sure to also join our Fund Partners free Discord community. We hope to see you guys there. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you, Kadir, for your time. And
It's my pleasure.
thanks, brother. Hope to do this again soon.
Yeah, we'll do it soon, inshallah.
Inshallah, brother. So take care, guys. Thanks for watching and happy trading.